Horror films always have a wild ride of opinions. What sends shivers down your spine might just make someone else chuckle. So, in this chaotic realm of horror, how do we pinpoint the ultimate scream-inducer? Simple plan. Throw a massive horror movie bash, toss in tons of spine-tinglers, and let the audience crown their spine-chilling champion. And that's exactly what we did in this video to bring you the top 10 horror movies of all time. Number 4 is scarier than ever. Number 10, It, 2017. In the horror realm, the real gems hit you deep in the feels and boom, enter 2017's It, a shockwave of fright that struck at the heart. Riffing on Stephen King's epic, it's the Losers Club versus Pennywise, a monster that feasts on their worst nightmares. Bill Skarsgård crushes it as Pennywise, catapulting this high-budget redo by Andy Muschietti into a terror spree. Sophia Lillis and Ray Taylor bring the A-game, making it a gut-wrenching yet spine-chilling saga. Pennywise isn't about surface scares, he's into reopening the wounds of a twisted childhood. Cinematic brilliance and set pieces that trick you into comfort make it a horror heavyweight, even with its twists from King's original nightmare fuel. Number 9, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974. In '74, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre sliced through norms, turning a bunch of friends versus psycho killers into a fresh scare tactic. Tobe Hooper's brainchild didn't rely solely on gore for infamy. It wove an uneasy vibe, a departure from the explicit bloodshed of its horror peers. With twisted visuals and an antagonist etched in pop culture lore, this film dropped during a cultural shakeup in America. Perfect timing, with some ranking its impact alongside Night of the Living Dead. Nearly 50 years on, it's dissected in books, essays, and documentaries, always hailed as an icon in the Horror Hall of Fame. Number 8, Insidious, 2010. On a shoestring budget of $1.5 million, Insidious pulled off a box office jackpot, crossing the $100 million mark, and the reason is crystal clear. James Wan directs the nightmare envisioned by Leigh Whannell, turning the Lambert family's worst fears into reality. Picture this: Josh, Renee, and Dalton facing tragedy when Dalton slips into a coma, a mystery in itself. Yet what unfolds is beyond explanation. Demonic tag teams seizing Dalton for a supernatural showdown on the astral turf. Insidious is a roller coaster of surprises. Would you believe it? The Lamberts actually flee their haunted abode, flipping the script. It's a slow burn suspense rather than a bloodfest, a departure from Wan's earlier hits. The result? A spine-tingling atmosphere that scared the socks off audiences, birthing a whole franchise. And hey, the latest scarefest is Insidious: The Red Door. Number 7, Alien, 1979. Ridley Scott's Alien, unleashed in the late 70s, plunges into deep future dread aboard a commercial starship. The horror kicks off post-hypersleep as the crew investigates a distress signal from an abandoned alien vessel. Enter the Xenomorph, a universe-topping killing machine triggered by the discovery of eerie eggs. Designed by the late H.R. Geiger and brought to life with timeless practical effects, Alien initially sparked mixed reviews, but swiftly became a horror masterpiece. Its gruesomely infamous scenes and genre-shaping influence cement its place among the most inspired horror flicks. Maybe not the scariest, but undeniably one of the most enduring, thanks to creative brilliance and powerhouse performances. Number 6, Get Out, 2017. Get Out, a $4.5 million gem, banked a whopping $255.5 million, boasting a 98% Rotten Tomatoes score. Yes, that's how good it was. Jordan Peele's genius shines in this spine-tingling exploration of racism's eerie echoes in the present day. The Writers Guild of America crowned it the greatest script of the 21st century, applauding its seamless blend of socio-political depth with horror. Funny how this movie was supposed to be a way for someone to meet his girlfriend's family, but guess what? He was in for the shock of his life. Literally. Follow Chris and Rose's journey south, initially drenched in cringe comedy and awkward family dynamics. But brace yourself. What begins as discomfort unfurls into a chilling nightmare. A standout of the 2010s, Get Out not only catapulted Peele into the directional limelight, but paved the way for hits like Us and Nope. Number 5, Jaws, 1975. Jaws isn't just a film, it's the cornerstone of the modern Hollywood blockbuster. Envision it: New England's tranquil beaches shattered into chaos as a vicious shark dismembers a young woman. The town now faces a grave decision: either vanquish this sea monster or endure more bloodshed. What sets Jaws apart? It's simply blood-curdling. No cliched door creaks or haunting lullabies, it serves up blood and terror under the harsh glare of daylight. There are teeth everywhere, and before you know it, someone's lost a part of their body. Within its concise runtime, subtle political threads are skillfully woven. John Williams' award-winning score amplifies the spine-tingling experience, earning him both a Grammy and a Golden Globe. Jaw's impact stretches beyond Hollywood and shark public relations. It clinched an Oscar nomination for Best Picture and dominated the box office, leaving an indelible mark on the blockbuster landscape. Number 4. Psycho, 1960. How do you watch a movie with a 97% score on Rotten Tomatoes? That's how scary this movie was. Alfred Hitchcock's genius takes center stage in Psycho, a film that carves its place into the annals of cinematic history. Kicking off with Marion Crane's audacious theft, the narrative winds its way through the Bates Motel, introducing the enigmatic Norman Bates. Hitchcock, the master manipulator, deftly weaves a web of impending doom, opting for implication over explicit violence. The shocking scenes etch themselves into memory, underlying the idea that a harsh upbringing can birth human monsters, or in this case, harsh situations. Psycho's brilliance lies in its mastery of suspense, reaching a crescendo with the jaw-dropping revelation of Norman's mother's skeleton. The film plunges into the abyss of personal demons, laying bare the roots of the unholy knife's dance in a dark, abusive past. Hitchcock's Psycho isn't merely a classic, it's a bone-chilling exploration of the scars that give birth to monsters within us, a timeless reminder of the enduring power of psychological horror. It's a simple way of saying anyone can be a psychopath if there's enough reason to believe so. Number 3. The Conjuring, 2013. In The Conjuring, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga team up as paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, taking us on a nostalgic ride into classic horror territory filled with timeless scares. Their mission? A trip to Rhode Island to assist the Perron family, stumbling upon a spine-chilling paranormal entity in the process. In a time when horror often misses the mark, The Conjuring stands as an exception, winning over even the skeptics. No reinventions here. James Wan's success lies in embracing familiar tropes, skillfully weaving them into a tale that grips you from start to finish. What sets it apart is the use of real-life figures and cases, adding a rare edge to the eerie narrative. The ensemble cast further elevates the horror, birthing a franchise that promises more thrills on the horizon. The Conjuring isn't just a movie, it's a window into the enduring power of well-crafted scares and a celebration of the classic elements that make horror a timeless art form. Number 2. Hereditary, 2018. Ari Aster's first shot at filmmaking, Hereditary, wasn't just a start, it was a deep dive into the unknown. Blending supernatural and psychological horror, it peels back the layers of family dynamics in bone-chilling ways. Annie Graham, Toni Collette, is at the heart of it, wrestling with her mother's death and surfacing family secrets that crank up the tension. Then comes the occult, dragging Annie's kids, Peter, Alex Wolff, and Charlie, Millie Shapiro, into a waking nightmare. This flick struck gold at the box office, raking in $82 million. Yet, Hereditary isn't just about shock. It's a profound family drama that lays bare the fractures in a mother-son relationship. Through the lens of horror, it skillfully navigates the tumultuous waters of grief. Witches, a demon king, it's not just a debut, it's a masterpiece in modern horror, weaving a tale that transcends the genre. Number 1. The Exorcist, 1973. In the realm of horror, The Exorcist sits on a throne, reigning as the ultimate scarefest. Released in 1973, it may seem tamer by today's standards, but its impact back then etches it deep into our cultural history. Picture this: people fainting and scrambling for the exits. That's the Exorcist effect, a chilling chapter in film lore. The stories woven around this movie are nothing short of legendary. It's a possession tale, a young girl haunted, and priests diving into the fray to cast out demons. The fear it stirred is unmatched. A game changer, it snagged the first R-rated horror film nomination for Best Picture at the Oscars, a groundbreaking move that took horror to new heights. The Exorcist isn't just a film, it's a trailblazer, venturing into uncharted fear territories and leaving an enduring mark. Whether you attribute its reign as the ultimate fright to the nostalgia it brings or the terror it sparked as a tradition, one thing is clear. Until another film times its scares just right, The Exorcist will stay the crowned king of nightmares. It's more than a movie, it's a spectral force, haunting the shadows of our collective imagination. The very mention of The Exorcist taps into the memories of a time when fear wasn't just on the screen, it gripped the audience's very souls. It's a cinematic opus, perfectly tuned to elicit spine-chilling fear, and it still holds sway over our deepest fears.